How about my dear YouTube friends? Today we are in a new video and friends in the new setup. From now on, the videos in general, the live ones and everything will be in this same setup. If you see any video that we are still in the old setup, it means that I had pre-recorded it for the holidays. Okay, and friends, we have news because friends have already removed the selector, the possibility of selecting the 7-star Saga character tour. Let us remember that throughout this month, we have had what has been the root of Alianza. These gestures of alliance are worth an entire month, in which they have done it for 4 weeks. During those 4 weeks, if you have completed both Alliance route and Nightmare Alliance route, we will have been given a coin that you are going to see right now that you should have right now. 3. Okay, because we would currently have the 4th token. During this week, I am recording this a little bit before I can get it to help you, well, choose which character you should be choosing in this selector, because Friends is full of great characters, very top characters, very good characters that you don't have to be letting go. Okay, so once we've said how to get these tokens, okay to have the selector, let's remember that they are in the store directly in the Alianza store, okay? In the Alliance section, and you are already seeing that where the glory is, well, this 7-star selector is found in which there are basically 4 of those tokens for that 7-star selector. Let's analyze which characters come in this 7-star selector, which is the best. Let's also talk about its duplicate, which one is best for you on your own, and all that to help you choose if you have done this 4 weeks of Alliance route. Okay, so folks, we're already seeing a first look. Is that selector made up of Invisible Woman? Let's remember a quite exclusive character that in fact in the 7-star crystals this character cannot yet be found. We have Rondador Nocturno Nightcrawler character from the first La X Magic Saga. They brought us the bug of this character that turned out quite well. The only thing that requires a fairly high duplicate, we have Captain Marvel who came with the Arcade Saga. James, this character who was also quite old, what happens is that in this case, they didn't do any boo or anything like that. They just made their step to 7 stars, so to speak. Then friends, we have Mr. Sinister, who I think is going to be the big winner. I'm already saying it literally in the 3rd minute of the video because he is the best character that you will be able to choose belonging to the Glorious Game Saga. And they put a tremendous buff on the character that makes him essential and you need to have him in your account. And then we have Ultron, that this character does not belong to any saga, the like Invisible Woman, but we find this Ultron as an exclusive character within the Alliance Rest themselves. You would just have a percentage of RNG for you to get this 7-star character in those selectors. Petar the Alliance Network and the Nightmare Alliance Network. In this case, I also believe that it has come out in a few crystals of well offers and so on, that in fact I have been able to obtain the Ultron in this way. In fact, I have all the characters that are in this selector. So I can tell you that I am going to bring you a pretty good analysis of which character we can be choosing. Well, friends, let's start with Invisible Woman. It's worth remembering that he is a character, as I said at the beginning of the exclusive video of event selectors and others, because right now he is not available to be able to get the 7-star one. Here we have it, friends. Invisible Woman is a character that I think may be the worst we have in this selector because she is a defender and she is not that good because there are already quite direct counters against this character, in this case female friends. Visible enters with a unique ability that requires her because Invisible Woman, when she becomes invisible at the beginning of the fight but without activating pause, she has a percentage chance of becoming invisible. Whenever Invisible Woman is raided and always puts it on, it fails, the force field recovers its initial value. In this case, it is also important to have the singular ability. What can I highlight about this character? Apart from being a good defender in attack, she is a little complicated to use because you have to be playing all the time in mode.
visible, so to speak, in which you will be putting fragility disadvantages with your blows, which will increase your damage significantly. And what's the problem with this attacking character? That at the slightest blow that you receive in blocking, or that a blow that your opponent gives you escapes, well, just take away that invisibility and those disadvantages of fragility, because they will be escaping. Therefore, to me, this invisible woman is the worst character you can be casting. Okay, that's why.
We put it here first in position number 5. In position number 4, I think we're going to be putting on Nightcrawler's bus. Okay, we have the character here that if you haven't obtained it in the first room of Kismatica Saga, you haven't missed much either. We remember that this character is a full defender, but thanks to the boo they gave him thanks to this Kismatica Saga, they managed to greatly improve him in attack. It's true that he's having quite a fit right now.
Large, and I still consider it quite underrated in gaming. Its amplifier mode is very simple. Right now, it is medium weak blow, medium to generate its efficiency improvements and cruelty improvements. Hey, putting it with the strong blows and with that the super attack too, and you will see what damage this Night Rounder does. Therefore, what they did to him is basically booed him so much in defense that he was already good because they stellued until the end, and they have also improved him in attack. What's the problem? The theme also of this Night Raider that suits the POR 200. Why? Because the chance of night rolling illusion can only be reduced by technological characters, no skill reduction passives, nothing like that. Therefore, you make him a great defender of what he is already and increase the instant bleed power and critical damage strength of Nightwalker by a huge percentage of his current efficiency power. Let's remember that the bursts that this night round hits are instantaneous bleeding bursts that do a lot of damage. I also tell you that I have all the characters we have in the sector on the channel, so if you want to stop by, I recommend you watch it in case you want to stop by and see the gameplay. Here we are analyzing which character we are going to be choosing. Okay, so in this case, Nightcrawler, for me it's a good buff, but it hasn't changed the meta. It hasn't done anything strength in the meta since it came out of 7 stars. I haven't even seen it in Battleground or anything like that or in Alliance Wars. So I think selecting Nightwalker might be a little behind you, okay? Then friends, the next character that I would be putting for as the third option in this case, because the fifth has been
Invisible Woman, the fourth was the Night Roundabout. We are going to be reviewing them, okay, because I still don't know them by heart. We are going to go to the Alliance store and we have it here. Sorry that I always forget that I have to give the info. Okay, in this case as third place because we would be putting this one is already 111 top. Quite difficult because the three are very good characters, but for my taste, it's okay. And some maybe you can be killing me here and in third place.
I'm gonna be putting on classic Captain Marvel. Okay, where do we have her? We have it here. So that on top of this character, we remember that it appeared in the Saga of which were the Saga of arcade games, and they came out in a kind of quite handsome crystals that gives us the probability of being able to obtain it, and on top of that, doubling it. And here you have it. I have it for 40, and Captain Marvel does not receive any boom because it is a little behind. Yes, it is true that when you have it developed for a long time, damage, but it stays a little far from me, especially because of the development it has and especially where the goal is going, which is basically short fights. Let us remember Captain Marvel's temper. We have to be making stops to both the super attacks and the opponent's blows. With that, we will charge our binary charges, and once we reach 25 charges, we will go into binary ignition. Therefore, we will develop furies and do totally terrible damage there. But of course, to get to that binary ignition, you have to be spending a lot of time making stops, making hits, and so on. So in this case, I am going to put the Captain Marvel movie in third place, although many of you are going to tell me that this should be in second place at least. Okay, then we go to stand number 2. Okay, because in this case, we find the exclusive character of Alliance Radios, which is the only time you will be able to get the character directly in this selector.
That's why I've put it in number 2. We're talking about Ultron. Okay, let's remember that Ultron from the Age of Ultron, from the MCU movie, received a buff. I don't know how long ago right now, how much he received this buff. but they made it pretty good, okay? In defense, it was already good. It could be bothering you, and apart from that, they added the ability that it could be regenerating all the energy damage, therefore it can be an annoyance in defense of certain nodes, but then in attack, they totally made him a beast. Let's remember that with his blows, he will be leaving bleeding disadvantages. When he charges enough, you can throw his strong blow and put a disadvantage that increases the duration and strength of those hemorrhages. And you will be doing a lot of damage due to disadvantages. And not content with that, let's remember that Ultron is technological with advantages over mutants.
And many mutants are immune to bleeding because instead of bleeding due to that degeneration disadvantage, making their scope of struggle reach many more characters. So for me, Ultron is very good. Also, counting that it has self-repair. When a percentage of life is reached, counting that he has robustness, it makes him a pretty good character. In this case, the singular ability is not that important because it basically goes towards defense. So I have said that attacks that infringe energy damage do control, damage regeneration, X damage received. Each energy-based attack further grants a tour, a burst of power, and the high voltage effects of action received on the reduction in its duration. In this case, the more we have of percentage that uniqueness of Ultron, since we will be half immune to that high voltage and incineration, which basically also expands the character's attack range. The truth is that Ultron quite covered this character, and for me it is a great option to be able to select this piece of character in this selector. But friends, now I do. We get to the best character for me who got the boost and is predictive of the glorious games. We are talking about Mr. Sinister. You are already seeing how I have them. I have him in range 3 by 80. Basically, I have put singular stones into the character. It is true that he is a character. What does the 200 require? In fact, I have not only put stones in it, I have put mutant gem in it. I think it was in the past. We put mutant awakening gem on this Mr. Sinister because he totally deserves it. He is a character that completely revolutionized us in attack, similar to Night Ranger, but well done.
Let's remember that Mr. Sinister has always been a great defensive force because all the critical hits that this Mr. Sinister received in defense regenerated, therefore it made him a pretty strong balloon pain. But the important thing here is that they have dived him and turned him into a masterful attack. Simply, its way of gameplay is it stops keeping the punch strong.
He lets it go, and with that comes the disadvantages of bleeding, to which we are 90 or something percent immune. Therefore, we are regenerating if we have the appropriate mastery, and once we reach 10, we go to super attack 1 and give it to the character, or not give it to the character. It will leave 10 degeneration disadvantages, friends. Degeneration is a disadvantage that very few are immune to in this game, so that greatly expands the range of attack. Also, not to mention that when we give the 10 degenerations, 11 or 12 to the opponent, maintaining the strong blow, not with the strong blow stop, we are going to be pausing the degeneration for a few seconds while that strong blow lasts. So that makes it do a lot of damage. In fact, Mr. Sinister is a counter direct right now to most skilled characters. Most of the characters in the game work for you in both defense and attack. You have possibly the best character of this selector, okay? The only thing that may be bothering us a little bit is its level of uniqueness, okay? Because every time my sins, the reporter return, this is his genetic code, so he gains a different passive ability for the rest of the mission. Maximum 10 charges. In the end, what this is doing to us depends on the mystical scientific mutant because we are taking away either the strength. By increasing or basically increasing the rate of power in combat, it increases the critical strength or the regeneration rate, you know. So this is quite important because in the end, we start with a quite powerful Mr. Sinister. But when we get to a 10 fight mission, for example, we are going to turn our Mr. Sinister into a beast to kill. So friends, singular ability is also very important. So if you don't have it now, let's start now. Okay, for me, this is the best character. But now let's start analyzing if you don't have any of these characters. We're going to go to the selector, okay? Because we're going to be putting enough different situations that anyone can find summoner in the games. Okay, if you don't have any of these characters, if you have played Alliance routes, well, for X reason, because they have been lost to you, you have lost them. You have not been able to get the sagas. I would tell you, Mr. Sinister, but as long as you have an ability, a Mutant Awakening gem to be able to put it in, it's okay. If not, Ultron could also be a great option since you are an aspirant already Valiant like me, end of games and so on. And you don't have Mr. Sinister for 200, put it in Mr. Sinister. In fact, it will surely be me that is mine. My choice is going to be Mr. Sinister. If for whatever reason you are a brave player who has totally finished the games that you have Mr. Sinister for 200 because you really know that this character works very well and you don't have Ultron because you have had the bad luck that you have either not come out in Crystals or you have not come out in Roots of Alliances, go get Ultron. If you already have this character, I know you do, go get Captain Marvel, then friends this way. It would remain what are the best characters for this character selector. In place number 5, we have Invisible Woman. In place number 4, we have Rondador. In place number 3, we have Captain Marvel. And in place number 2, we have Ultron. And the definitive winner who was already known but was more than likely going to be Mr. Sinister. So friends, I hope you liked the video and that it helped you select this character. When the date approaches, I will leave 111 possibilities, one election in the community tab of the channel, and there you will tell me which one you are going to select to know which one you take. So friends, did you like the video? Suggest you're not here and see you in other videos. Bye bye.